Thanks for tuning into my channel. Don't forget to click on like and subscribe if you like what you see and you want to be notified when I release future videos. Today, I am going to introduce the Open Vulnerability Assessment Scanner, OpenVAS. It is a full-feature vulnerability scanner that has capabilities including options for both unauthenticated and authenticated testing, which, by the way, produces different types of results for us during vulnerability assessment scanning. We also can take a look at various high-level and low-level internet and industrial protocols, performance tuning for large-scale scans, and it features a powerful internal programming language in order to allow implementation of any type of vulnerability test. This scanner also obtains the test for detecting vulnerabilities from a feed that has a long history and daily updates to it. And OpenVAS has been developed and driven forward by the company Greenbone since 2006. It features both an enterprise appliance as well as a community edition together with other open source modules, and you can read more about the history of OpenVAS here. So I will leave the website address here on the screen. That way you can further research OpenVAS or visit its homepage if you like more information. However, my goal for today is to walk you through the installation process of how to install Greenbone Community Edition on a Kali Linux virtual machine, and the quick start install steps provided here give a great summary of what is going to take place in order to allow us to successfully install this application on a Kali Linux virtual machine. And make sure that you subscribe to my channel before leaving, so that way you can view my next video where I will take you through a walkthrough on how to utilize this scanning tool to run your first scan against a vulnerable virtual machine. So without any further delay, let's get started with that installation. And we are here at the my Kali Linux desktop. We have a terminal screen open at the command line where we can begin with the first step, which will involve updating the Kali Linux machine with the sudo apt update command. That way we can ensure that we are upgrading or updating any existing packages. This process actually took quite a moment to complete. This step took approximately 25 minutes to complete. So I'm going to fast forward through that process just to kind of speed things up a little bit, or pause and then come back once that is completed, and then we'll move forward with the next step. All right, with that step completed successfully, we now need to execute the next command, which will install the Greenbone Community Edition, as well as any required dependencies. And this can all be installed with a single command, the sudo apt install openvas-y. Looks like that's moving along quite nicely, and it's almost done, and that has successfully completed. Let me take a look. I'm looking for certain information that should be displayed to me here in this step. The default username and passwords, I don't see that information here. So up next, we're running the sudo gvm check setup. Oops. Actually, I ran that command prematurely. It's indicating that the installation is not yet complete. So I need to move forward with the sudo gvm setup command instead. And honestly, that command took a very long time to execute to complete the installation, about 40 minutes. So be very patient. You may want to grab a coffee, take a walk, come back, and be patient, and you'll get taken care of. And we'll be back as soon as that's completed. And with that command execution completely successfully completing the installation process, we are given an indication here that we can now run GVM check setup to make sure that everything is correctly configured. And once we have the okay that we have our installation successfully completed and everything's a go, we can then launch the OpenVAS application from within the browser. The Firefox browser is what I'm actually going to use from here within the Kali Linux virtual machine. So here it's running through a series of checks, and looks like there's a certificate, self-installed certificate being installed, checking permissions, could not connect to Redis. Oh, I wonder what's going on. Hope there's no problems here. At least one user exists, but I was not able to find the username and password credentials within the previous install step as indicated in the installation steps. But we do have a positive sign which is indicating here that the installation is okay. So I wonder if the service is already starting and is in a state that such that I'll be able to run it now from within the browser. So we know that we're going to run this using the localhost IP address on this particular machine, the 127.0.0.1 on port 9392. It looks like we may need to start a service. Sudo gvm start is the command to start all services on the OpenVAS server. And if we need to stop any services, sudo gvm-stop is the command. But it says here that GVM services are already running. So let's see. May need to try just giving it a little bit more time to successfully load into the browser. Let me get that command in there. Okay, we have a self-signed certificate, so we get an untrusted certificate exception, and we can accept that exception in the browser so that the self-signed certificate will be installed in our certificate store. But my next problem is I don't have the default username and password. I tried to retrieve that information from the prior step, the GVM setup, which ran the automatic configuration script, and I was not able to find that information. So I'm going to have to look around and take a check and see where we may be able to find that information. And we are in luck today because I was able to Google search and find a command that will allow me to reset the admin username and password credentials on the OpenVAS application itself. So I'll go ahead and pop up that command on the screen so that you'll have it available. I'm going to go ahead and type in the credentials that I have established for logging in and log in. And there we go. We successfully logged into the Greenbone OpenVAS vulnerability assessment scanner tool. And in our next video, what I will do is demonstrate how we can use this tool to run a vulnerability assessment scan against a vulnerable virtual machine and analyze those assessment results. Thanks again for tuning in. Don't forget to click on like and subscribe so you will be notified when I release a future video. Thanks for watching.